Yeah.
Okay. Hi all. So far we have covered, the control statement. Under control statement, we have seen uh, like the if else condition or nested if else conditions, and also switch. Also, we have seen, right, how it works. So today we are going to cover another concept called loop. Okay, loop statement. So let me create one class, loop concept. Okay. Now, guys, pay attention. Okay, I will explain very very easy way so that even we will have no doubt. Okay, so this is loop statement. Okay, the concept. So let me uh, create this one public static void main string args. Okay, so this is my main method. Main spelling is error. Okay. Okay. Now, what exactly loop statement or loop concept? Okay, why we use? Okay, so basically, uh, if I will tell you print 1 to 10, so what, how you will print? So uh, this is the way we can print, right? System dot out dot,
Makan,
yeah.
for this now you can use shortcut. Okay, SOUT. If you type means it will come automatically.
So ut,
SOUT. Yeah,
sure.
remove that's up to system. Type SOUT.
Okay.
No, no, small. Enter SOUT. Small. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Okay, thanks, Raghu. So if I am telling, okay, print, for example, print 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10 numbers. Guys, go on mute. Okay, please. So if I say print 1 to 10, how you can print? You can like print. This is one approach, right? So I will print like 1, then I will print 2, 3. Okay, so this is, I will just go and print all this. Okay, so let's assume 5, number 1 to 5, it's very easy, you can just copy paste and change the number. But when I say print 1 to 100, are you going to copy paste 100 times? No, right? This is not a good practice. So to avoid this kind of uh, things, the loop statement come to the picture. Okay, now I'm just removing, I'm just adding value. Okay, now the logic I want print 1 to 10. So I'm just saying int I, okay, equal to 1. Okay, this is the integer value I am putting 1, for example. Now what I will, less than equal to 10. So I want to print from 1 to 10, right? For that, I have to, write that syntax. So the syntax is, whenever you want to write from 1 to 10, so this is the syntax. While I less than greater than less than equal to 10, and your while is started. Okay, now you will say system.out.println. Okay, you will print I, right? So now what should you get? Okay, see, So if right integer value I am putting 1. So I want print from 1 to 10. Okay. That's why I am saying this is 1. Now in while loop, it will go. So it is saying I is less than equal to 10. Yes, obviously. That means I is definitely less than equals to 10. Okay. And it will go it will print 10 first. Okay. Then it will come 9. To do that, we have to initialize. Okay. So I equal to I plus 1. So it will first go at 10. Okay. I 1 is less than equal to 10. First it will print 10. I already covered, right? The initialization, like incremental and decremental. So this is we are increment by 1. Okay. So first it will print the value because I just put the current value of I, okay, whatever is there. So this how 1, then it will come add 1, then it will print 2. 2 is greater less than equal to 10, yes. Then it will add one more, then it will become 3. Then 3 is less than equal to 10, plus it will add 1. So it will give 4. Okay. So the way I have mentioned, it will print all. It will go and check the condition. If 1 is less than equal to 10, then obviously. But if I say 1 is, suppose if I say 1 means the current value of 10, okay, I want 11, that time it will not work, because this is the I have mentioned 10, it will go up to 10 only. Okay. So I will tell you, this is exactly the incremented or decremented, whatever we are mentioning. This is the example for a while loop. Okay. This is called the syntax for while loop. While loop. Let me just print that. Okay. Let me run. So you will see how it print. Okay. So can you see, it is printing from 1 to 10. Okay. For example, I want to print from 0 to 10. What I have to do, I will go here, and whatever I you know declared here, so I will just change to 0. Now it will start printing from 0. That means 0 is less than equal to 10. Yes, 0 is less than equal to 10. Then it will start printing from 0 till 10. Okay, let's try with 0. Now you can see it is starting print from 0 to 10. So this is the concept. Okay. So whenever you want to print, suppose I want to print range from 0, and it will print till 100. Now you can see, right, 100 is the last, and it's printing all. So this is the benefit to avoid write like system.out.print and ln multiple times 1 to 100. To avoid this concept, it came to the picture, the loop. Okay. But there is one disadvantage of loop, loop statement or while statement, while loop statement. So what is the disadvantage, I will tell you. Prior to that, I will tell you the syntax. Okay. So this is the while. So this is the condition, right? So this is condition. This is condition. Like when I'm giving the condition for I, it should print from you know up to 100. This is the condition. Now, and this is what system.out.println is nothing, it's a output. Okay, and what is this? This is increment, right? Increment, or you can do decrement also. I will show you another example for decrement.
Okay.
So this is in, yeah.
Instead of 1, now if you add more than that, what will happen?
Which one?
1 plus 1 you added, right? I plus
Yeah.
1. If you add 6, 7, there, run it.
Where you want to add here?
Yeah, 7, 7. Yeah. Change that 1 to 7.
Instead of 1, you want to add, but you will not get from serial like 1 to this, right? If I want to print from 1 to 10, obviously it will only increase 1, like it will go first the
1 plus
starting
7, right? 8 like that.
yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? If I just put 7, so it will not going to print 0 to 10 or 0 to 100, right? You are incrementing 1 so that it will go first. What exactly happening? So I am saying 0 is less than greater than 0, less than equal to 100. That means obviously, so it will first print 0 because the current value of I is a 0. That's why it is printing 0, and it is adding. Now we are adding 1, right? So that's why we are getting 0 plus 1 equal to 1. So 1 is less than 100, obviously less than 100. Then 1, the current value plus adding 1, so it is printing 2. That's how.
No,
Now
I
if I
get that concept, okay. So what I'm saying here, if you add 7 means it not round figure with 100, okay. So that time where it will stop? It will stop 93, 94 like that, or it will go, I'm asking.
let me check in that way also. I didn't try in that way.
Raghu, it will start at 98. It will stop at 98.
Not go
So
100.
see, it is
So how
7
will it
7
work?
range.
It will print.
This is
It will print 0, 7, 14.
Odd number, right?
Multiple of 7. It will print all the multiple of 7.
yeah. It's the table 7 on the 7 like that, right? Up to it will go 100.
Exactly. 7 on the 7.
Yeah. So it's printing like basically
Stable.
7 stable, right?
Yeah.
So here, then you have to put the logic for, I want to print 7 stable. So now I want to write the logic for print 1 to 10 or 100. So that's how I built. And it's based on your requirement. Okay. Any questions so far for while loop?
Yeah, Makan, instead of that I plus 1, na, can we give
Mhm.
I plus
I plus,
plus?
sorry, I plus plus. I didn't get you.
That is also supposed to increase na by 1, I plus plus.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah, that's fine. It will increase 1 only. Okay. If you are saying putting 1, it will increase 1. If you are saying 1 plus plus, I plus plus, that also the same thing. Okay. Just for making simple for you, that's why I just put I plus 1. That means the whatever the current value is, it will add 1. Whatever the current value next for is 1. Okay. But this is a there is a disadvantage of this. Okay, what is the disadvantage of while loop? See, whatever condition I have mentioned, after that I have to forcefully I have to go and increment or decrement, otherwise it will not work. Okay, suppose if I comment this increment portion, and now if I go and just run it, it will only come some different number. It will not go 1 to 100 or 1 to 10. Okay, it will keep on going. See, 0, because it will only
It will enter into
yeah,
infinity loop.
yeah, yeah, that's I wanted to cover that for them. So this is called infinite loop. Okay, if we do not increase or decrease, like if we do not increment or decrement, this is the thing. Okay, so you can't stop, you have to terminate this program, otherwise it will keep on checking, okay, the current value of 0. So this is only the drawback of this while loop concept. So I have just shown you this. Now we'll come to another concept called for loop. Okay. So what happened for loop? Now again the same. I want to print 1, 2, 10. Okay. Now for loop the syntax like this: for simple in a small. Okay. This is for start. Okay. Now before I do anything, I have to initialize, right? Or I can continue with the same. Let me, yeah. So I am okay, I'm creating one new variable called int j. Okay. Int j equal to 1. Okay. This is, now I'm saying, let me comment first. Okay. Let me write the syntax. Okay. Now int j equal to 1. Then j is less than equal to 10. Then j plus plus. Okay. So I am incrementing and my for loop started from here. Now what I am saying, system dot out dot print ln. Now I want to print the value of j. Okay. So what I have done, this is for loop. Okay. So for loop is the same thing I want to print. So here what is the difference? Here I am not going to increment this way. Okay. Simply like I equal to 1 plus I plus 1 and all, it is not required. But here I will just do this way, and I mean, suppose, what is the meaning for j plus plus? That we already covered, right? It means j equal to j plus 1. Okay, j plus plus means j, the current value of j, and it will add 1. Okay, whatever the current value. So this is what the meaning of that. And you can see this is okay. This is what the initialization. So I have initialized. Okay, this is called the condition. J is less than equal to 10, and this is called the increment or decrement. Okay, and this is the output. Okay. Now let's run. Oh, 1 second. Huh? I have commented. Okay. So I will get for both I and j.
You need to stop that first one, right? Print, because there's no increment.
So see, this is for the first one. Okay, 0 to 100. Now see, the same I'm getting 1 to 10. So this is 1 to 10 I'm getting from the second one, right? This is the 1 to 10. So now same thing, if you want 0, right? Let me just put till 1 only. Now I need 0 to 10. So it will go and print the 0 to 1. Now you can see, right? 0 to 1, 0, 1. So the first 0, 1 is from this. Okay, while loop, and this is from this. Now another logic I want to print reverse. Okay, so like print 10 to 1. This is what I need. Okay, I want to print from 10 to 1. So again, what I'm going to do, the syntax is very clear. This is for, okay. I will create a new integer value I k equal to 10. Okay, this time we are saying 10. So we are giving, the maximum value here. Okay, it will start from 10 and it will, reverse. Okay, but if you see here, it start from 0 because we need the starting from 0 or 1. That's why we put, declared, initialize, 0 first, but here we need reverse. That's why we are putting. So you can put any number 100 to 0, that also just you have to increase. So the syntax I need to write first. So I int k equal to 10, and I'm saying k is greater than equal to 1. Okay, and k minus minus. So obviously before I write k minus minus, k is the current value, k is greater than equal to 1, obviously 1, right? So but I need to reverse, right? For reverse we have to decrease the value of current value, right? So in other previous example we have seen we are increasing plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it will giving 0 to 10, right? Now I need from 10 it should increase to 0, for example, or 1. Then we have to obviously reduce the decrease the current value, right? It should uh, first print 10, then 9, then 8, 7, right? So this is what we are decreasing. Okay, now I'm saying system.out.println. Okay, now I need simple value of k. Okay, now I again move to, okay, let's run. So this is called reverse. Okay, now you can see, right? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, right? This is what it is coming. Anything you can do. Okay, anything. Any question?
Yeah, Makan, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, so if you see while statement I equal to 0, then I less than equal to 1 and print I. So it is printing I as 0. Then it is incrementing to 1, I equal
Yes.
to I plus. So it
Correct.
will display 0, 1 and 2. But when we see for loop, j is 0, j less than 2, j plus plus also is increasing, right? When you print, it should be like plus value, why again it is 0 itself? Like,
See. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Let me explain it. So what is the current value of j? It's a 0, right? It's a 0, right? So the first time when you are going to print the value of j, it should be 0, right? First. Then what it is going? It is going to increment. It will increment. Plus plus will always increment 1, right? So it first what is going on? So this is the boundary. Okay, this is the limitation we have given. We are saying it should not print more than 2. So that means it will start executing from 0 to 2. Now the first value is 0. Okay, then what happening? 0 plus 1 equal to 1. Okay, and again it is the current value of j is 1. Then it is again taking 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So what I am saying is current value of j less than or equal to 2. Yes, it is less than or equal to. Both when you are saying equal to, it will touch. If I just say less than, okay, then it will only print 1, right? In that case it will not print 2 because it should be less than the maximum value. Okay, but when I say equal to, that means it will go and touch that one, but it will not increase after 2. You will not see 2 the current value and it is adding. So it is, you will not see 3, it will stop at 2. So basically what, this is the condition we are giving the maximum limitation, like it will go till that much, the value whatever we are, we are putting here, this is the value it will go and check and stop. Okay, so this is the starting. So in simple way, this is the starting, whatever you are seeing the initialization, it is a starting point. Now you see, it's 10, that means if I do plus plus, and this logic will not work. Let's do this for, so I'm saying k is 10, it should less greater than equal to 1. Okay, so you will not get 10 to 1 this time, because it is not going to reduce. Okay, let's check that one also. See, is it some valuable, like is it some realistic number you are getting? No, right?
Makan, it
So
again went into the list.
yeah,
You need to look.
yeah.
So,
So it's very simple, guys. Don't get confused. See, this is
So Markin, I think my question was like why it's printing, like in first case I know it is printing 0 and then it is incrementing 0 plus 1. But here it is already doing plus 1 and then it is going to print, right? So that's why I was thinking why 0 is printing even in for loop.
Makan, shall I?
yeah.
Okay. So let me answer this. So what is happening here? So initially, this is the for loop is divided into 3 different parts. So first is initialization, that is separated by semicolon. Second is condition, again one more semicolon. Then last is the reinitialization. So how does it work? So initially it check the I value. I value is 0. Okay. Then it come down. Okay. It come down and print that I value. Again, now after printing the I value, sorry here J value, it goes to the condition part. So first, the initialization takes place only once. That's it. So later it goes to the condition and it check the condition. Condition is 0 less than equal to 2. Yes, 0 is less than equal to 2. Then after checking the condition, it goes to the reinitialization. There the value of j is increased by 1. So it happens j plus plus. I mean 0 plus plus means 0 plus 1. That become 1. And it come down and it print j value again. That means 1 will be printed. So again it goes back to the condition. Again it check, is 1 less than 2? Yes, 1 is less than 2. Then again it go back to, okay, you just increase the value. Then it come back and print the value. Then that condition and reinitialization happening continuously, but initialization happens only once. Got it?
Okay, now I got it. So I will be displayed first itself, and then after that only working is happening between j less than 2 and j plus plus, right? The cycle.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So condition check each and every time. Even the first time also, I missed that. Even 0, when we assign j equal to 0, that condition again check, is 0 less than 2? Yes, it's less than 2. It prints. Okay. Then after printing that, it initialize the value. So each and every time initialization and condition check, but sorry, reinitialization and condition checked each and every time, but initialization check only one time. Got it?
Yeah. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, sir.
No problem. Yeah, I can proceed. Akhan, are you speaking anything? I think you are on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm saying I am going to increase the value of j. Okay, so what I'm saying, so the very you already told, right? So 0, 0 plus 1 1 2. So far we have seen 2. Now what is happening when I increase after 2, it will go and check the condition. Okay, like the current value 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, then it will go, it will print the current value and it will increment plus 1, so it will become 3. And again it will go, is 3 is less than 5? Yes, then it will give print the the current value, because we put this is way, right? We have mentioned, so always it will print the current value, then it will increase by uh, plus 1. So 3 plus 1 equal to 4. Now 4 is less than 5. Yes, it will less than 5, then it will go and add 1, so it will become 5, right? Now it will say like this is the way. Okay, so I hope you understood. Let me again run this program. Others, do you have any question? You can ask. Okay. Okay. Let me check which one. Yeah, see. So it is 0 1 2 3 4 5. So it is printing till 5. Okay, so guys, you can also try by using some different example. So I will just ping this. Let me ping. So any question so far for the loop, while loop? So mostly we use this thing in Selenium. Okay, Selenium, most of the times we use the for loop statement and all, and even sometime while loop also we use, but rarely. It's based on the scenario, based on the requirement. If I think while loop is enough, then we just go with while loop, otherwise for loop. So Ravi, is there anything you want to add for the loop concept?
Yeah.
I'm
So
with the
guys,
loop.
yeah. Okay, so guys, I think here Mathan used just printing numbers. Okay, so printing number is just nothing but just an action. So in the same manner, you can do any kind of action by using this looping statement. You just don't take it granted that we can only print the numbers. No, thing like that. So yesterday we have seen, one program where we print we check the whether a number is odd or even. Okay, and we can do that by using this loop statements also. Okay, you can check that from first 10 number which is odd number, printing first 10 even and odd number. We can do that, and that is so simple. So what I mean to say is any kind of action can be where we have to do the iterative process, repetitive process can be handled by using the loop statements. No, it's not permitted to only printing the numbers. That's it, Magan.
Yeah, if you guys have no question, we'll wait for 2 minutes. Then Ravi can start. Oops, right?
Yeah.
Just wait for 2 minutes if anyone has any concern. Guys, it's all about your practice. So if you do practice, you will only think different set of examples, and you will try from your end.
Makan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my understanding is while and for while we are adding variables and increment, everything is separately. For we are adding all in the bracket, close and open bracket,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Variable and condition, then incremental.
No, for while loop, first you initialize the
Yeah,
value
I'm talking.
separately.
If I understood, I'm talking about for all three. It's going
Yeah,
to inside
yeah,
the open
yeah,
and close
yeah.
bucket.
It should be within, yes, it
Oh.
should be within the bracket. If I just comment just suppose I'm just, if I do, see, I'm getting the error, right? So this is a syntax. So, this is only the syntax for loop. So I think, Ravi, you can start.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So guys, now we are going to see what are the OOPS concepts. So OOPS stands for Object Oriented Programming Concepts. So what does it mean? So uh, everybody knows this building called Antilla, Mukesh Ambani's building. Okay. So which is divided into multiple floors, multiple rooms, everything. Okay. Just you think about, rather than building multiple floors, multiple rooms, if we build a complete a football court, a building which is equals to the football court, and he asked everybody to stay there, and everybody not only stay there, everything will happen there. How will it look like? Can somebody answer, please?
Can you repeat the question?
I'm saying that rather than see, we build our house, we divided our house into number of rooms. Okay, number of room. So we have living room, bedroom, we have kitchen, all that. So rather than building like that, if you build a complete of huge one room, that's okay, a single room, okay, and we are doing everything in that room. How will it look like?
Yeah, that is not the appropriate way to live our life, right? We should have
So
segregation for all these
Absolutely
things.
right.
it should be in
Absolutely
order.
right. And if you yeah, Raghu.
No, I'm asking. It should be order like that.
Yeah, it should not be. See, there will be. See, you just have a big room. You don't know
No,
what
I'm asking. It should
where
be in
the
order.
things are there.
I'm saying it should be in
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
Everything in
It
one
should be
place
in
is
order.
not.
So we yeah. So we have a huge room. Everything is there. You don't know what thing is you put where. I mean, where are you eating? Where are you sleeping? And there is no segregation, right? So it will be very tough. And something takes place somewhere, you don't even know where. I mean, where the mistake happened. So in the same manner, guys, the loop statement also, or not loop statement. Oops, object-oriented programming concept is completely based on that. Okay. So earlier we used to use the procedural language, procedural concepts. So what does it mean? So procedural concepts is nothing but the 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 block of codes is divided into the divided based on the functions, based on the methods. For example, one activity we have to do, then on the based on that we used to just segregate the block and we used to keep it. Okay, but this object-oriented concept, what it is talking about, we'll take one example, and from there we can understand that. We take the example of school. So we have a school, and from there we have a classes from 1 to 10. And when we divide all the class from first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth, on the basis till 10, then the classrooms will be divided and the respective student will sit on that class. Is it okay? So this is the concept of object-oriented programming. So what do we do in object-oriented programming? We segregate the block of code based on their feature or their functionality. Okay, so how does it work? So we divide the code based on the classes. Okay, we divide the code based on the classes. For example, everybody use this Facebook. Okay, so in the Facebook we have lot of things, lot of functionalities. Okay, leave Facebook. At least we very similar application that we use is our bank, any kind of bank application, whether it's HDFC, ICICI, anything. So there the code there are sections. We have cards section, we have balance section, we have a lot of other sections. So what do we do in object oriented concepts? We divide that code based on that kind of section, guys, that functionality. So far it's clear, guys?
Yes.
Yep. So now
Yes.
the concept of classes emerge from here. So what are the classes? Then once the classes is done, then what is the object? Then object is done, then what is a method? So these are the okay questions arise from here. So we divide a complete code, a huge code, into number of classes, okay, and based on then functionality. How does it work? Okay, so class is nothing but a blueprint. Okay, class is nothing but just a blueprint. It's a structure. It gives you the structure. So before we build a home, engineers gives us a structure, right? Okay, that blueprint. So that is nothing but this class, guys. Class. Okay. So then when we create the class is nothing. When we create any class, it doesn't even matter anything. So what do we have to do? We have to create the object. Then what is the object? Object is something that initializes the values of the that initializes the class variables. So what is the meaning of it is so when we create a class, I think it is very imaginary thing, but I try my best to bring it to a point that so class is nothing but just consider as a blueprint or a structure, and object is nothing but just creating the space for it in the memory. Okay, I think this concept is little tricky, guys, isn't it?
Ravi, can I add that for the
Yeah, sure, please.
creating object? Yeah. So guys, let me open Paint. Okay.
Yeah, this will be easy. This will be understandable.
So for example, this is the memory, allocation in your system. Okay. 1 second. This is entire memory allocation in your system. It is giving from your OS. It is, providing this much of space for Java related things. Just assume. Okay. Now, like you are staying somewhere. Okay. You are staying somewhere. So everyone is not mandatory to live in 1 BHK or 2 BHK, right? For someone maybe using 2 BHK, for someone maybe 1 BHK, or someone maybe using 3 BHK. So it's different based on the requirement, right? Your requirement. So the same way, any class, whenever you create any class within the Java, okay, and try to create some object. So object is nothing, it is a container. It is a container, like it will create a memory allocation for that particular thing. Okay, so any object you are creating, suppose this is object 1. Okay, I have created. So for object 1, whatever I have created, let's say I have created object 1, obj1. So this is for obj1. Now if I go for obj2, obviously it will create another obj2. Okay, this how the object will create. Okay, so it's depend on the value, depend on what kind of value you're looking for. Based on, if it's a byte, it will can you go someone on mute? I think so. Remember, we have data, we have covered data types like integer, right? Byte, short, right? String. So based on the size, for example, few more are there, float, double. So based on the range, okay, it will create a a space in the memory allocation. So this is object. Okay, to store some value. Okay, if some value I'm putting 10, so this object will keep your value in the memory allocation 10. So don't think about memory allocation, how it works and all. It would be completely technically things. So just understand, if you want to store 10 to the memory, right? It will obviously store to the memory. Then you need to create an object. An object we are creating to, you know, call that particular class or method, etc. Okay. So this is when you do little bit about the OOPS, you will understand why we create object and why. So as of now, just understand, to store any kind of value, you need to create some object, right? It will store or allocate some space within the, you know, memory, and it will store your all these things. Okay. So this how, you know, object or, you know, this allocation works. Okay. Hope you understand.
Yep. Okay. So guys, I think let me clear this. You just imagine this at this point of time. Later, when we enter into the programming, you'll understand this. So the architecture, the blueprint on the paper is nothing but the class, and the physical house is nothing but the object. You just consider this at this point of time. So once we get into the detail, then you understand. Clear?
And
Okay.
Ravi,
So
you can share your screen if you want. Okay.
I don't have, bro, because I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
electricity here.
Okay.
It's
That's
a
fine.
power outage. That's the reason I'm facing this issue, or else I definitely. Okay, guys. So
Alright.
next concept is what? I think you just share your screen. I'll tell you what to do. Then you just proceed accordingly. You understand? Okay. So guys, I think recently I have given this example to Lata also. Then I want to give you the same example. Like when we take the example of wedding. Okay, just consider this wedding example. In the wedding, there are a lot of things that we do. Okay, the first thing is purchasing, then decoration, then okay, what do I say, uh, or sangeet, all the other things we have. Okay, so we take a concept of one purchasing, and on the top of it, we'll understand. So each and every activity or each and every task in a wedding is called as a class, guys. Okay, so purchasing is a class. Okay, then decoration is a class, then food is a class, then okay, then remaining just whatever there may be, those are all the classes. Okay, then again a class is the when we talk about purchasing, so purchasing itself is not a complete activity. So then what is the activity? In general, in programming language, whatever the activity we do, that we do in a method, a function. Okay, so recently we have seen what was the method. We have seen the main method where the actual activities were taking place. You remember, Makan, can you show that last program, whatever the program we have written last time, the
Yeah.
four loop statements? Yep. Okay, remove everything, just keep one line, that's it. Print statement, remove everything, doesn't even
Let me create.
require. Yeah, sure. So meanwhile you create, guys. So what is method? Method is a executable block of statement, guys. So what actually work in where the actual task takes place, where the actual work takes place, that is nothing but the function we called in C++, and here in Java we call this method. So method is a place where the actual work takes place, where actual activity we perform. Okay. So this is this main method. Can you see this? Markan is writing now main method. That main method is nothing but one of the method, and one of the method where the execution. Okay, and so now we again come back to the which method? We again come back to the concept of wedding. Okay, so Magan, can you please change this public class name? We are not going to run it. Just change it to basic oops. From basic oops to change it to purchasing
Okay.
or purchase.
Yeah, done.
Okay, now what do? You just create a public void method. Like first method is called jewelry purchase. Public void jewelry purchase. Second is clothing purchase, and third is all the other utility purchase. And inside the method, you just write print a statement that what kind of method, what kind of purchase is that.
Guys, ignore my spelling mistakes. Huh?
No issue. You just write Jeff, that's more than enough.
Okay.
So meanwhile,
This
he
is
write that anybody jewelry,
Mhm.
you just assume yourself whatever the thing that you want to write, just write.
Okay.
Okay, so meanwhile, do you have any doubts, guys? Anything that you don't understand or didn't understand? First of all, guys, are you there? I think
Good for
nobody is
now.
speaking anything. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done, Ravi, with the 3 methods.
Yeah, yeah. In that method, you just print statement that system.out.println. So, guys, now here, okay. So, based on each and every activity, what are the activities in the purchasing? We have the activity of called jewelry purchase, then we have called clothing purchase, then utility purchase. Three activity. So, based on 3 activities, we made 3 methods. Okay, and that is what the main task was wedding, and that main task was divided into subtasks. That subtasks are nothing but the purchasing, wedding decoration, and all other things. And in that subtask, the purchasing, the subtasks are nothing but the classes. And based on the activity, we drill down more into the detail, that is methods. These are the okay. Mean we just drill down into the what kind of different kind of purchasing, that is nothing but the methods, guys. So is it clear, guys, till now?
Yes. And
Yes.
method
Now
name can we give like this? I'm not sure. I just want to confirm before I note
yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely. I think method names, that there is a concept called identifiers. I think we did not cover that, we have to cover, and I'll definitely cover that. So first
So Kavit, Parvati, so the method, for your
what
just
is
for your
class, what is object, what is
un
method. Mm.
so for your understanding, just I just put purchase so that it will relate to this. Otherwise, you can just remove this one. Okay. So this is the syntax for method. It should be always lowercase, whatever you have writing. Okay. It should not see the difference between this class name always should be the first letter is upper, and the method name should be all the word be in lowercase. This is the syntax for method.
Okay.
Okay, so I think is concept clear, guys? Shall we proceed further?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this done. Then I think Markan, I think this is enough, because when we talk about the encapsulation, abstraction, that definitely that will going to be the bounces. So we just create this class, and we are going to, sorry, we just define this class. We just um, create the object of this class, then we proceed further. And tomorrow and next week we will continue with the abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, rest of the thing. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Now,
I
I think
think
in main method, you just,
hmm, yes.
yeah, in main method, you try to create an object of this class, and it call these methods.
Okay. So I'm writing something. Okay. So I'm saying int a equal to 10, int b equal to 20, for example. And then also I'm taking one string stri, let it be. Just I'm doing some calculation. Okay. So what I'm saying, I need to calculation for a plus b, right? So ideally it should 30. Okay, now I want to print more value. Now C, and I'm saying 30. Again D. This is, just take any example, just for your understanding I'm doing it. Okay? So C plus D. Okay, then what should be the result? 70, right? Now again integer E equal to 50, integer F equal to 60, for example. Okay, now again I want to put value for this E plus F. That means 50, 110, right? Now again, for example, int G equal to 70, int H equal to 80, for example. So what should get G plus H? That means I should get value of 150. Okay, so this is what I need, all this value, okay, from each and every method whatever is there. So now if I print, I told, right, whatever you need execution, if you need the output of this A plus V, always you have to create the main method. Without main method you will not get the output. Okay, this is something we have to follow. But if I just put like this, is there any possibilities to get all this value? So the answer is no. Let's try. Because why we will not get? Because these are not come under the main method, right? See, the main method start from here and end with here. Okay, so only you will get the value of 30. Okay, rest all will not print. Can you see? Only you are getting 30, but not, what about this? So you are not getting. So if I just like this also, for example, I am saying this, it will give error because this main method is not able to understand where you kept or initialize or declare the C or D value, right? It is not there. You can see one error, right? So it is not allowing. If guys, can you go on mute, please? So if you want to print C and D, then what you have to do? You have to go here and enter that value. Then only you will be able to print, because anything you want to get the output, it should be always under the main method, and your main method start from here and end here. That's it. So whatever you are writing within this, it will print. Otherwise, it will not print. So this is not the good way, right? You can't have everything in one bucket already, which Ravi gave you the example. So what, to get all these, what you have to do, you have to create an object. Okay, so how to create an object, that I will show you. Okay, so to create an object, the very first thing, uh, you have to be within a class. Suppose you have a class, right? You have one class and you have multiple methods. To call that particular method means what? To get that particular method's value, okay, printed, you need to call. To call that, you need to create a create a object. So the object, always create, the syntax is, or it should be the purchase, means your class name, then create object. Object is anything, you can put anyone's name. So I am saying John, okay, is an object, equal to new purchase. Okay, this is, I have created object. So see, new purchase, that means you are creating object for that particular class. So here the purchase, refer to this class. Okay, and this is a statement, you are ended with the statement, and you are creating new. New means you are creating an object, and left hand side, this is the object you are creating. It's a reference variable, nothing else. So you are referring someone to create this object. So there is a person, you can't call him person, right? Obviously that person will have some name, so you are just saying one name to that particular person, and you are taking all this action from these methods. Okay, so this is the syntax to create a method. And okay, this is the purchase, John or any name equal to new purchase. That means you are creating an object. So once you create an object, it will create a space in your memory. Okay, now I want to call all this, right? Jewelry, clothes, and cosmetics. So what you can do, so you will call that person, hey John, give me the output of my clothes. So you are getting option clothes, right? So now you can see, right, the cloth is there. So if I say like this, will I get any output, any value will print? No, right? Or yes? Can anyone tell me? So I have called, okay, this is calling the method. Okay, calling the method. So this is the reference variable which I created, and I use this. Same, I will go John dot, I'm saying this. Again, I am calling the method, right? Sorry. Again, I am saying John dot jewelry. So I need to output, right, for all of this. So again, I am calling the method. Okay, so you are calling. So remember one thing, whatever method you are calling, you have to call under the main method, because the execution will be only possible if anything you have written under the main method. If anything you are trying to execute here, it will not come, because main method is only the place which help you to get the output for classes or created methods. So now let's run. I asked something, I didn't get answer anyway. Now see, I'm getting 4 different sets of things. Okay, this is nothing, this is, guys, it's the method. The syntax, you can see, bracket start, bracket close, this is a method. Now this is jewelry. The first I call what? Clothes. The clothes, what is there? So this 30 you are getting, right, the very first 30. Now 110, that means I called cloth. Whatever the expense I want to know, I am saying to John, can you give me the output for the expenses for the clothes? So it is saying 110. Okay, again I am asking John, can you provide me the cosmetic amount? It is saying 150. John, can you tell me the output or expenses for jewelry? It's 70. This is where you are creating. And one more thing. So if you want to create multiple times object, you can create it, but you can't use John next time. If just I am trying to use, for example, again, for example, I am using John. Okay, it is giving me error because it's a you can't create. See, you can see the error, right? Variable John is already defined in the scope. So what you can do, you can create. If you do like this, it will not give you any error. So far, any doubt, any question, guys? I try to explain you very easy way so that you can understand.
Makan, I didn't understand this concept, man. New purchase, purchase John equal new purchase. What is the new purchase? What that? Is a variable or
See,
what?
yeah, no, new per see, this is you are saying it is a you are this is a purchase means it's a class. Okay,
So
you are
always we need to
creating.
add class here.